That's our exceptional bet based on the fact that both the LG G6 and LG G5 had been launched at MWC. The Barcelona conference is a huge, smooth venue for LG to advantage worldwide interest. But, one rumor suggests it is able to definitely land in January so that you can get out beforehand of the Samsung Galaxy S9. If so, we'd see it at CES 2018, which takes location from 9 to 12 January, but we're skeptical. Whenever it lands, it received TB cheap. In line with different LG flagships, we count on it cost north of $700 at retail, around $729, approximately £568, $967. It's lots of cash, however no longer as much as some others. The Samsung Galaxy S8, for example, commenced at around $750. There's no longer a lot inside the way of LG G7 rumors, but we have heard reports that LG plans to switch to OLED displays in its flagships from late 2017, which, if real, method the LG G7 is in all likelihood to enjoy the blacker blacks and vivid pinks that OLED is understood for. And the LG G7 might be very effective too, with one source claiming LG is already working with Qualcomm to make certain the G7 uses the Snapdragon 845, that is likely to be the primary flagship chipset of 2018. That would make sense, in view that many criticized the G6 for its use of the dated Snapdragon 821, and LG may not need to make the identical mistake 2 times. Currently, LG's profits for 2017 have proven that the LG G6 has been sluggish to promote, probably an end result of launching within the midst of the competitive release season along the Samsung Galaxy S8 and Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus. But, its internals, which we cited as being barely in the back of the instances, could have been a part of the difficulty. Understanding that phones with the Snapdragon 835 were coming placed an impediment in front of the G6 earlier than its launch. You could bet that LG will be gunning to have the maximum effective cell phone round next year, or at least be on component with its competition. Whilst we're on the hunt for more rumors and tidbits, here are a few knowledgeable guesses we are able to take which might be likely to ring true with the next flagship. There's lots about LG's 2018 flagship that may probably be gleaned from the G6, in truth. Considering that it turned into the first foremost smartphone to launch with small bezels and a 18:9 issue ratio, signs and symptoms factor favorably to the next smartphone retaining in keeping with that standard layout philosophy, a large, tall screen inside of a compact build. However, what it's going to appear to be piece with the 8 of pieces, proper now, a complete thriller. Today's exceptional practices in flagship phone manufacturing aren't likely to change all that a good deal going into 2018, so assume to appear a honest percentage of curvature and metallic dashed around the device, with extra attention directed to the screen. The LG G6 opts for commercial enterprise, flat, within the front and party, curved, inside the returned. However, we'd like to see LG mix up the method for the following iteration of its G collection. After seeing how properly Samsung's curved facet test turned out, being that it has made the Center S product even extra delicate, the LG G7 would be the right check mattress for a contemporary curved look, with the wish being that the learnings will feed into making Destiny G phones even better looking. Plus, who doesn't love a piece of curved display? It feels certainly right within the hand and looks futuristic. If LG can build in some utility, as we've visible from Samsung, all of the better. The Snapdragon 821 inner of the LG G6 is not any slouch. It's ideal for ordinary use, simplest slowing down under the vast strain of Daydream VR inside the Google Pixel. The G6 doesn't aid Daydream. We'll get to that later. However, despite its performance pedigree, it's vintage information. Whilst the G6 released, one in every of its foremost highlights became that it used vintage era, no longer the takeaway you're aiming for to your logo spanking new flagship telephone. Not just that, the S8 showed it up with the next-gen Snapdragon 835 quickly after its launch. Not the pleasant look. At the same time as LG's modern-day appeals to those seeking out a nicely built phone with a ton of capabilities, it's going to have to work to get back the hardcore audience that cares about uncooked performance capability. Adopting the Snapdragon 845, or regardless of the subsequent chipset could be known as, would be a good way of doing simply that. LG is familiar with making phones that have removable batteries. Take the LG G4, LG G5, LG V10 and LG V20 as a few recent examples. So, there's little to no reason as to why its subsequent flagship shouldn't have this sought-after function. Of direction, slimmer layout requires sacrifice someplace around the tool, so while it's comprehensible that LG eliminated the ability to switch batteries in its latest cell phone, it's a real crowd pleaser that's well worth maintaining in mind for subsequent years' version. After Ultimate Year's Samsung Galaxy B-Aware 7 battery fiasco, the blessings of a detachable battery provide an explanation for themselves. Thankfully, LG's popularity in the battery department is ironclad, but on the other hand, electricity users love being capable of preserve the experience going with swappable batteries, and we're in the same boat.